Oh well.
And I have to go to the club and wash the floors because I've put that off a couple nights because we've had the registrations and I wasn't washing. So
No.
that's gonna be a lot because all the puddles from everyone's feet dried over a couple of days. That's gonna be hard to do, and got to go and pick up beer for the bar. I'm gonna wake Connor up and see if he'll come and help his nan.
He should.
Oh
So how okay. Hi everyone. Okay.
yeah. I thought I'm sorry. Hello everybody.
Oh, look at her.
This is
All professional.
this is the sexy voice of Sicko Lori.
It's sultry, sickly Lori.
Right?
I'm sorry you feel so bad.
Well, thank you. I'm actually feeling really sorry for myself right now.
You should. You feel bad.
Well, it's not just that, it's just this it couldn't have come at a worse time
Mm.
because I've got so much to do. I've got to get ready for this trip. I've got to do the hamper stuff. I'm kind of bugging out now Saturday for the next drive, toy and food drive, because I don't want to stand out in the cold. It's bitter cold here. So I just feel like I'm already not doing my thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, there are other people who barely lift a finger. Let them do something for a change.
I know. I know. But
Besides
that's
that, you have to take care of yourself because you're going on a cruise with your
uh,
family and
I
you need to
know.
be well enough to enjoy that. So,
I'm just so worried that I'm making everybody else sick and then they're going to get sick for the cruise, like actually on the cruise, which would be worse. So I've
that would
been
be
kind of
okay.
staying away from everybody. And, Connor keeps coming in my room to tell me stories. And I'm like, you know what, Connor, you should stop coming in. Oh, if I get sick, I get sick. I said, yeah, but I don't want you sick when we're away.
Yeah, he's young
So,
though. He'll get over it a whole lot faster.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, that's the sad story of Lorie. Oh, look, listen to that. The sad story of Lorie. I have to remember that one.
I know we need to write that down. Podcast topic.
There's there's a book coming.
A book, and a movie, a motion picture.
That's right. Who would play me, do you think?
Oh, who would play
I
you?
would like Rosie O'Donnell, seeing as how she's my best friend on TikTok. She follows me, you know.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. I'm serious. Don't laugh. She is.
it
I'm
is
not.
really her.
It's really Rosie O'Donnell.
That's awesome. Look at
Yeah.
you.
See, I have friends in high places, man.
You do. I
Do,
do not.
do you know Kevin Hearn? Kevin Hearn from Bare Naked Ladies? I know him. So
Look at you.
I just a real jet setter.
You are. I know zero people, and I'm okay with it. I don't need
Now,
that kind of pressure in my life.
please apologize. I can't suppress this cough. I don't want to take medicine. And George said to me, go take some cough medicine. I don't want to take cough medicine to suppress the cough. And I find when I take medication, all I want to do is sleep.
Yeah.
So like I can't win here, friends.
Do you have Mucinex up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you can take that. It won't make you go to sleep. It helps break it up. It
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
suppress it. It does help break it up,
Okay.
uh, and get rid of it. Mucinex is pretty good for that kind of stuff.
Okie dokie.
So you may want to look into that.
So what is our lovely topic today, friend? This is
um,
one, this is a topic I just want to say
this is a
that
hot
is
topic.
it's a hot topic
Mhm.
between Steph and I because we have hubbies that are on the brink of retirement. So I don't know, that there's a plan to evacuate.
We are formulating a safe house as we
That's
speak.
right.
A safe.
There's a
Oh,
she shack somewhere with our name on it because I don't know if
I'm not. Okay,
I'm
and
not going to survive.
Mine's happening sooner than yours.
I know.
Okay, so I'm just gonna
Let's
tell
start.
you that so Kenny's when he put in and said he was gonna retire, um the 31st of December was his retirement date. Well, then they moved it to the
Can I
20th.
interrupt you for a quick sec?
Absolutely.
Just remember where they moved it to the 20th. Did we
Uh-huh.
tell everybody we're talking about retirement or did I
Yes.
interrupt you?
No, we
Okay, way
did.
you go.
Okay.
Carry on.
Um, so they moved it to the 20th. Okay. And then they all got together and they're throwing him a party on the 17th. And they're like, oh, well, that could just be your last day. No one is consulting me. No one's asking me if I am okay with him being home 2 weeks earlier than planned.
Wait a minute. So he was going to retire on the 20th.
No, the 31st was going
Oh,
to
the
be his last day.
31st.
Then they moved it to the 20th, and now
Oh.
it's the freaking 17th.
But what reason do they give him for that? Like, do they say, "Oh, well, because X, Y, and Z is happening, so we
Yeah,
just rather."
we're throwing because obviously Christmas is the following week. So people are on
Oh,
vacation,
okay.
all kinds of stuff is happening. They're whatever. So basically like, oh, after your party, have a good life.
Sayonara.
Yeah, right? Like he's still getting paid. Like none of that, none of the benefits is changing,
Mhm.
except he is going to be home with me sooner, all day, every day,
I
for the
know.
rest of his life.
I know. I hear you, sister.
Now, for most people, what's the big deal? I can hear it now. Why? What's the big deal? He's retiring. Let me just put it this way. And then I finally did tell him this. I was like, babe, I love you, but you didn't retire. You quit a job under the guise of retirement because you technically can retire, like you're at the age that you can retire. You use that to quit your job because he hated his job.
Hmm.
And rightfully so. His job was
Yeah, it
six
was.
shades of awful.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. Um, and so I get it. And I get that he is how old am I? He's 62. Okay, I'm 53. So I get that going out and finding another job somewhere else is not ideal, right? Like not starting over, he's highly intelligent and he knows a lot in the field that he's in, right? But still going into another office and then would he even get hired at his age because he's like six steps
No,
away from actual retirement. You know what I mean?
they would never
So,
hire him.
so, and I told him, I was like, you didn't retire because he made the comment when we talked to the financial advisor that if they let me work from home and I didn't have to drive all the way in, because his drive is an hour or more to work and then home. He goes, I probably would have stayed longer. That tells me right there, it's not like he was wanting to retire, he was
Yeah.
quitting a job.
Yeah.
And guess what? Guess what his plans for retirement are?
I don't know.
He has
Driving her.
none to aggravate the flip right out of me. I can hear it already because this is
I
how
know.
it is when he has time off. What are we gonna do? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm working. Like, I don't know what, oh, you can't blah blah blah. Oh, I was wanting to hang out with you. Da 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 da. Sir, he has zero hobbies.
I
I
know.
mean, he plays games with his friends, and that's great. And honestly, I don't give three figs if that's all he does every day while I'm working.
Yeah.
I
No.
feel like I am regressing, and now I have a teenager at home.
I have this exact same issue, and that's why we chat about it because I'm at a point where, I mean, obviously, as a couple, we're older than you guys. He will be 65 in February, and he plans to retire. And I just want to say this, I love him to death. He's worked his patootie off,
Yes.
and I mean hard. So I think he deserves to retire.
Yes.
My issue with it is that he has no plan in place for a man that cannot sit still. And this is, he cannot sit still and not vegetate in front of the TV or, nothing. He's got to have something to do. And in the process, if he doesn't, then he aggravates everybody around him.
He's
And
bored.
that's right. That is what I have the problem with. Because when I retired, I struggled because I thought, what am I going to do? This is crazy. I feel like I'm worthless and blah, 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 blah. Right. And at the same time, you know, friends said, why don't you do this YouTube channel? And well, I thought, okay, you know what? Let's give it a shot, something to do, right? And now I've got this little thing going and I'm happy about it. I love it. It keeps me occupied. It gives me something to do. And every single day that man is home, which recently has been a lot because work has slowed right down.
Mm-hmm.
Construction has slowed down. I get a text message from him in the living room to me sipping my coffee, watching the tube. Uh, what's the plan today? And I'm like, I respond, I don't know what your plan is,
All
but I
right.
have a plan. I don't know what your plan
Yes.
is. What is it? Like, I'm not your babysitter now. You have to figure it out, mister.
Yes.
Get yourself a hobby. You like woodworking. Get yourself the stuff to do the woodworking and the this and the that. And, hatch out a little scheme of what you're going to do. And I said, you can't just depend on me to fill your 8 hours now because that ain't going to look good. It's not going to turn out good,
It
my
is
friend.
not. You have to
So
you have to come to Texas and I'll hide you.
I'm like, okay, we're going to have a sincere problem. And even Megan, my daughter-in-law, she goes, oh my God, when he's bored, he's so aggravating. I said, oh, I know, I'm well aware. And try and tell him that. But he thinks he's being funny. See, that's the thing with him. He thinks he's a regular comedian on a TV show. Meanwhile, he's aggravating the piss out of each and every one of us with every word he utters. Poor guy. Like, you got to feel sorry for him. But at the same time,
No, it
I
affects your
just want
life
to,
too much.
I want to kick him into a snowbank right now and just say, you know what? Figure it out, buddy. Figure it out.
Oh, Kenny's thing is like, what are we?
Yeah,
Who is this we?
I know. What are we
Who?
gonna do?
Who is we that you're speaking of? Because no,
I got
because
a
I
plan.
I asked him when he was talking about retiring. I said, "Do I need to stop my business? Like, does your retirement is that going to mean that we're picking up and we're moving, we're going to travel all over? Like, no, 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 you don't need to do that, not for the first year or so, you have time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm moving forward. But now all of a sudden he's like, well, I was wanting to do this. Okay, well, if you want to travel, I have no problem with that. But we have to sit down, we have to look at my calendar. Okay, because I do subscription boxes, which means they're on a schedule. So I
Yeah,
have to be here to get those out and to do these things.
there's planning involved.
Yeah, a lot of it. And he's like, okay, well, I figured you owned your own business. You could be your own boss. It's like, I am, but I don't have employees.
Yeah,
Like, who do you think does all the stuff?
it's true.
And so, wait, so I asked him, like, so we had that conversation. I'm good to go, doing my thing. So I asked him a couple of weeks ago before I went to Idaho. I said, so, and this was before they moved his retirement up to the freaking 17th, which I'm not stressed about that because it's the holidays. I had already planned on stopping all of my stuff on the 20th. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm okay. So I asked him, I was like, what does January 1st look like? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you're not going to go to work. So what does it look like for you? Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. What? Like, how? How do you not know? You and I told him, I was like, you have worked since you were 16 years old. Every day of your life, you have gone to a job.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're not going to have that. He's like, well, he's like, I really want to get in better health and shape. So I'm going to go hiking. Okay. And then what? He's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, okay, let's just say you go hiking for 3 hours. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
You still have a whole, like, I don't know, 9, 10 hours of your day left. What you gonna do? And he's like, well, I think I want to work on, building muscle. It's like, okay, so you're gonna work out. That we'll just say that's another 2 hours, which I know it is not, but hey, I'm just trying to be optimistic here. Okay, now you have like 7 hours left of your day. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
And he got pissed.
I know.
He's
They
like,
they get
why is this so important to you to know what I'm doing? I was like, it's not important to me. I said, it should be important to you. I said,
yeah.
you don't have a plan. I said, for somebody who has worked their entire life to go from being wanted, being needed, being relied upon, being the go-to person, being the
It
person in charge of other people,
it is not easy to give
nothing.
all that up and then do
Yes.
nothing.
Because you know
It's
what he's
hard.
my greatest fear, Lorie, is that he's going to come in here and micromanage or try to micromanage everything that I'm doing. Why don't you do this? Oh, if I
Yeah,
was you, I would have done that. Oh, why did you do it that way? Blah. Oh my God.
I know. I said to George one night, when we were talking about him retiring and, he's got to find something to do. And I said, in all the years of you working, did you never once think, oh, when I retire, this is what I want to do? When I retire, I'm going to go. He goes, no. I said, seriously? I said, I thought about that every morning on my train ride down to work. Who in their right mind doesn't think about what they're going to do when they don't have to go to work anymore? Now, did I think it was going to be this? No. But
But you thought about it.
I thought about, okay, well, maybe you know, I don't know. I can't even remember the thoughts I had now, but things things of different natures. Like maybe I'll do a little decorating of the house and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you
little
had
things.
thoughts.
Like I had thoughts of what was happening or lounge by the pool and get myself a tan on and you know what I mean? Just all those kind of things. But I always thought about the
The
after
future.
plan
Yeah,
and he's like, no, I never give it a thought. I said, what is wrong with you men?
they
What,
just fly
what?
by the seat of their pants. Just whatever, wherever the wind blows me. Well, I'll tell you where it's gonna blow you, sir.
Oh, yeah. It ain't going to be where you hope.
Nope. And I know it's gonna be like, well, I really thought we would be hanging out more. And why would you think that? First of all, we didn't discuss his retirement. He
No,
decided.
he decided that was, yeah.
So there was no, okay, what does this look like? Blah, 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 blah. There was no discussion. He decided.
Hmm.
And again, I'm like you. Okay. This man has done nothing but work his butt off his
Yeah.
whole entire life. I have wanted and needed for nothing. I've always had all the good stuff.
Yeah, I
You know what
know.
I'm saying? He deserve, and we talked about it last night. And he's like, so you're saying I shouldn't have retired? I was like, no, I don't care if you retire or not. That is my issue. That is not my issue. You can work or
Can
not
he
work. It
not
makes me no difference.
can he not say to his job, you know, I can contract work if you have something you need to get done, but as long as I'm doing it at home, you can contract me to do work. At least then he's still
Oh,
doing what
I asked him that before all of this. It's like, look, you are so valuable that these people cannot even let you go on vacation without
Yeah,
calling you 7,000 times.
yeah.
You have a leg to stand on. So why don't you just compromise or have them compromise and say, look, I'll stay as long as I can work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I will come in if I need to physically do so. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
my physical presence is
Yeah.
required to do the
Yeah, for
job.
sure.
But he didn't want to deal with the people. He's like, no, okay, your choice. But I know they're gonna call him Lorie.
I
They're
know
gonna call
that.
him. And I told him, I said, the first time I hear you talking to that job, I'm taking your phone, I'm gonna smash it and break it into 1,000 pieces. I said, because if you're gonna retire, you are retired
Especially
and you're done. No.
especially if they're not going to pay him. And that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like
And because I told
he should
him,
have a plan in place that if they call, he could say, "Look, I don't mind helping you out, but if you're paying me contract,
yeah.
I'll
Oh, I told him. I was like, your fee is $200 an hour with a minimum of 4 hours. And
yeah.
if
Yeah,
they
it's
can't do that, then you hang up the phone.
sorry, I
Because
just
to
oh
this, oh, you're fine. To
no, I
this
opened a ginger ale.
day, yeah, I heard it. To this day, they still call him on the weekends and after work, and he's going in on Saturday. Oh my gosh, I am trying so hard not to be over the top pissed off about this. It really irritates me that he doesn't see his own worth.
Yeah.
So he's going in Saturday.
But I'm going to be honest with you, Steph, just before you go any further.
Okay, go ahead.
A lot of people don't.
I
I know
know.
when I did the exact same thing Kenny does, I was a dedicated employee and I was this and I was that. I didn't I didn't recognize that the second something changes in the building and the company or whatever, I'm just a number on the piece of paper until later on. And
Hmm.
then I recognized, okay, you know what? I'm not doing this for nothing.
Right.
But a lot of people don't recognize that. They just think they're just their working ethic and their morals and whatever. This is what's gonna.
Get them
So
through.
yeah. So what did he say? Sorry.
So he's going into work Saturday to create a training manual for the people that are in his position now.
Why don't they know what they're doing if they're in his position right now? That's kind of scary.
You think? And that's why I know his phone is going to ring right off the hook on the 18th. It's not even going to be a day.
Good morning, Kenny.
Right?
How do we turn the computers on?
For real. How do you raise the chair?
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. Oh my God,
so,
that's too
and
funny.
again, I want to be mad about that. And it doesn't affect me. I'm like, oh, you're
No.
not going to be here on Saturday? Well,
No,
good for
because
me.
they're
But
going to take advantage of them.
it
And that's,
is
yeah,
like, why are you making their lives so comfortable when they
yeah,
never cared about making yours?
yeah.
Why is it that you got denied vacation because they couldn't afford for you not to be at work? Why is it that even when you were on vacation, you had to still carry your laptop around and be available in case they need? Why are you making their lives easier when they
Mm-hmm.
never did that for you?
Yeah,
Ever.
it's
And I
true.
know it's because that is the kind of person that he is.
That's exactly what it
And
is. There
I
are,
love that about him, but it also, if I thought it would change anything and not put me in jail or probably prison, I would go up to his job and I would, pardon me, bitch slap all of those people who screwed my husband over for so many
mhm,
years and
yeah.
are still doing it to this day until he walks
Now,
out the door.
now he's in retirement and they're still going to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to take advantage of him for sure. And that's just because that's the kind of kind-hearted person Kenny is.
And I
It's as
know
simple
that.
as that.
And it's great for me, but all that doesn't need to like overflow into other people anymore.
No.
So,
So here's a flip side that I want us to chat about because
okay.
sometimes this is me and I don't know if this is you. But saying that he's worked hard and he deserves to retire and relax and all those things, and I don't want to take that away from him. And I start to feel guilty because then I think to myself, you know, if he asked me to spend time with him, and like I don't mind spending time with him, but I don't want to be around him all day long every single day. And that sounds horrible because it sounds like I don't love the man or care about. But come on.
That is
I
not
have
what I
a li-
hear.
I have a
I
little thing going
yes.
and I want that to be continuing too. And I feel like all I'm going to do is nag the man in the time when he should be enjoying life just like, everybody else in retirement. So I start to feel guilty about it. Who does that?
So
I
there is a part of me that feels guilty. But I look at when oh my God, my glasses are so dirty. When my grandfather retired. My
Mhm.
grandmother retired way before. But when my grandfather retired, there was a learning curve, but his hobby was fishing. That man went out and fished almost every single day.
Yeah.
Okay. And my grandmother piddled in her garden, and so he did what he loved.
Yeah.
She did what she loved. Okay. They are still under the same roof.
Yeah.
Uh, they're still together. They still watch their shows together. You know what I'm saying? They still did the same together things. It's just during the day he was fishing and she was doing her thing. And it was like, almost like, okay, we're just working for ourselves now. We're doing what makes us happy
Yeah.
and not under the thumb of somebody
But
else.
see, and that's what I tried to explain to George. You got to think that our whole married life, which is like 42 years, we've split. You've gone to work, I've gone to work. We've come together at home, split again to take the kids to
Yes.
extracurricular activities, come home, have dinner, whatever the case may be, for eons. Okay. Then the boys got older and they moved out. And it was like, that was a learning curve because, okay, now what we do? Okay. Because now you come home at night. I don't like the stuff he watches on TV.
Yeah, Kenny and
So
I
to
have a
sit,
hard time.
right, to sit and watch TV with him is as much as I like his company. Don't, I sitting there watching the crap that he watches on TV just sends me off the deep end. I can't.
Okay,
I
first of
can't.
all, I have a hard time just sitting and watching TV.
Yeah.
Like if I watch, God knows, I watch 1,000 shows. I cannot even tell you. I finished so many series when I was in
Yeah.
Idaho, but I was also working. So I'm
Yeah.
listening,
You're doing
watching,
something.
I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I cannot just sit in my fluffy chair. Now, if it's a movie, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can watch a movie and relax and not have to do stuff. But if it's going to be like a TV show, a series, no, I'm not sitting here for hours on end just watching and not doing something else. I can't. I've
And
never
then
been able to do that.
and then he'll say, "Okay, well put something you want on." So I do. And then halfway through he's like, "Oh my God, is this almost over?" I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
like what is the point?" So these are the things that I am dreading because part of me is like, poor guy, yeah, I want to spend some time with him. He's retired now. He gave me the opportunity to retire extremely early. Like I was retired at 55, 56, something like that. So, now I feel like I'm going to make his retirement a life of misery because I'm going to bark at him all the time for aggravating and bark at him all the time. Like he's going to wish to God he was back at work.
Maybe I'll go back to work. So here's what I want to
See,
say
I
to
feel
all
bad
the
about that. It's not that that brings me happiness because it doesn't. I
no, I
feel
get that.
bad that that's possibility.
So I'm in a little bit different situation than you, and that is the fact that I am 9 years younger than my husband.
Hmm.
So technically, I'm not even anywhere near retirement age, nor do I want to be. Like
Yeah.
I am finally doing what I love, and it's building and it's going somewhere. It's my business is doing well, and It makes me super duper happy. And and he's like ready to just what? I don't know what.
Well, yeah, we don't know
We
what. That's the
don't.
whole thing. So,
Um and if it was like, okay, babe, I'm retiring, but I want to and here's my thing too, is my husband is very much an idea person, and then that's where it stops until he's like given direction and he can go. So he's like, "Oh, I could do a podcast." Yes, yes, you can do a podcast. Except guess what? Well, if I do a podcast, then I'm going to need you to, edit it and do all the things. Sir, I can I said I can teach you how. I can show you how. I can put everything on your computer and I can show you how to do it. But if you think that I'm going to be doing your podcast, my podcast, and my business and all the things, no,
no.
that's not how this works. See, you're not going to be my boss. And I know, and not that he wants to be my boss. It's not an intentional
No, it'll
thing, but
just end up that way. It'll end
he's
up,
looking to
yeah,
be in control of something
thing. Yeah,
and someone because he has been a boss forever.
yeah. And I get that. That's the thing. But it's good that he's at least pursuing that idea. But the other thing that I wanted to just jump off of your conversation is, and I don't know if Kenny does this, but George will sit at night and then in the morning he'll go, "Hey, I was thinking maybe we should go do XYZ." And I'm like, "What? Why would we do that?"
Like,
Like,
could you have talked about your thinking process while you were thinking this? Why are we waiting until the moment? Because
and
Kenny
then
does do that.
yeah, and then he gets all pissy because I
Mhm.
don't think it's a great idea. And what are we going to do in case of this? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I, I, I just don't understand him, the thought process sometimes. And again, the the guilt comes in because I think, at least he's trying to think of something. But, but I said to him, I said, okay, hon, honestly, it's great, but there's no way we can go ziplining once a month or let's go jump out of an airplane. No, I am 64 years old. I barely jump off of a curb. There is no way in hell I'm jumping out of a plane or now these are just stupid things that I'm making up, but this is the stuff he'll come to me
Oh,
with.
but
This kind of thing. Oh,
Kenny
I
asked me
think
the other day, he's like, "Would you ever fly in a small plane if I learned how to fly?" You've been married to me for how long? You know damn good and well, I don't even like to be in a big plane, much a little two-seater death trap coffin on wings.
no,
No.
no. And then he comes to
But
me the other
please
day,
go
he
learn
goes,
how to fly. Like, go do that. If that's
yeah,
what you want to do, go. Why is my presence required for your happiness? If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
why can't I am perfectly fine doing all of the things by myself. I don't need him. I want him with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need him to do
Yeah,
things
like
with me.
I want to do stuff with him and I want to be, involved in his day-to-day life and his whatever and whatever he decides he wants to do, I'll be happy for him and
And
guide him and
encourage
talk,
them, and
encourage
yeah.
them, yeah, like that. But I I don't I don't even know how to say this because it sounds so self-centered. I don't want to do the things he wants to do now.
No.
I just it's almost like you don't have the same thing in common anymore.
And Kenny and I've
A
talked
little
about
bit,
that. Yeah.
right?
And
Because
and
the
it but
things
it's
that we
true.
used to like together, we're outgrown, we're out aged. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Kenny and I
it's
met in a
not the same
bar.
anymore.
Yeah, we met in a bar and we love to dance.
Hmm.
Okay. This is not a dancing body anymore.
No,
Okay.
no.
Just saying. I can't, that's not a
we used
thing.
to we used to love before the kids came along, we would go camping and fishing and all that kind of stuff, and it was just the best time. I, I can't sleep in a tent, and I'm not going to go buy a travel trailer
And
to
see,
go camping because that's just not in I'm not spending that kind of money. See, and that's another thing. He'll say
to
to
do
me, "Well,
something 1 or 2 weeks a year.
right." And then he'll say to me, "Oh, another thing." Oh, goes, "Okay, I think what I'm going to do is build an extension onto that shed and put a whole new roof on it and da 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 da." And I went, "Oh, really? That sounds exciting." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I think it'll look really, really good." And I said, "You could put all your tools and everything else in there." And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Where's the money coming from?" Right? Well,
Okay, and that's
where's
a
the
whole
money?
nother conversation about
There we are. We're
retirement.
back about retirement. So I said, we got to slow down with this now. We're not, if you're not making the big bucks anymore, because you're not going to work anymore, it's not a possibility. We have to do cutbacks. We have to do, and this is on you could beep this out if you want, but he says, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, I can't do anything then." I said, "Well, no, you can. You just can't go building extensions onto other buildings and like entire, steel roofs and insulation and that." I said, "No." I said, if you want to go and just renovate the 3 room uh uh what do you call it, garage or whatever it's called back there, sheds, there's
Yes.
3 of them all attached. I said, you want to renovate it a little bit and put shelves in it and put your tools in it and you know uh, absolutely, not a thing, that's not a problem. But when you're
And
talking
you
about let's get
building a house.
let's build an extension onto a on a thing and get Scott in to run electrical and like why don't we just buy the property next door to us and build a extension from that a building on that lot to over here, like let's just talk craziness
Oh,
here. Anyway, I feel so sad for him because he's just got these grandiose little plans and it's just not
it's not
it's
feasible.
not feasible. You gotta. I said, then on top of it, you still want to travel twice a year. I seriously, come on now.
And so we talked to the financial advisor, and because I am 9 years younger than him, so his company, his company will pay for him to be on their health insurance until he's 65. So here at 65, then he can get Medicare
Right.
or yeah, Medicare. Okay. I can't.
Mm. So you're not covered either.
So then I have no insurance. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to pay for me to have insurance because I have medications I have to take.
Yeah.
So that's gonna come out of retirement money. What does that look like? So when we talk to the financial advisor, uh and Kenny's like, "Oh, we're good, blah blah blah," and I'm listening to the financial advisor, and I'm hearing little undertones and little things. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying about like how this needs to last because yes, you are your age, and she is her age, and I honestly could live another 30 years
Yeah.
on what's left in this cup.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's
so
true.
how are we gonna make what's
Yeah.
left in this cup last beyond you?
Hmm.
Um, and that's got me feeling kind of some ways. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's scary. That's the
It
thing.
is. And we talked about it last night because I had to do our like all of our budget numbers, like every single thing so we could send it to the financial advisor and whatever. And I know we'll be okay. My husband had a great 401 and pension, and that is
Yeah.
amazing. But my mind always goes to all the okay, but what if? What if the house burns down? Insurance
Hmm.
doesn't cover the whole everything. Okay, let's just be honest, people. What if we get in a car wreck? There is no way that insurance is going to cover his brand new truck all the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you still have like, there's just the things.
there's the unknowns, and that's the thing. And um
And those unknowns put people under bridges. I
well,
am
see,
just saying.
yeah, there's a lot to, and again, I'm just going to say for us, we're not, I'm no financial expert by any stretch of the imagination in regards to investing and this and that and whatever. But again, we've done a little bit. We have some RSPs, we have some pension plans, we have things that I think we're going to be um, okay with. Do I think we're uh, you know uh, living above our means, like being extravagant or whatever? No, we
Right.
have to watch what we're doing, especially if we want to make that last. So the money the government gives us here is piddly. So
Oh yeah.
like piddly. So that money is going in savings account for trips. That's what we're spending our trip money on. Um, that's what we're saving the money from the government on. But I do want to say this, and I don't know if you agree with me. This is the time I'm going to kind of rant a little bit.
Go.
In Canada, and I think honestly, I'm not going to say around the world because I have no idea. I don't know what the States does, but I truly believe with all my heart that our education system fails people in a sense that we have uh, no classes that teach us how to invest, teach us how to watch our money, teach us budgeting.
Mm-mm.
Nobody does any of that. And I, I know from a fact that the only way I knew of stuff is listening to conversations from other people. That's it. I didn't know, oh, well, you should be putting X number of dollars away in order to get this much money for retirement. You have to have this much money away from your paychecks to be able to. No, we live paycheck to paycheck. There was no extra money going
Right.
anywhere, right? So, I honestly believe that, and people will say, well, maybe parents should be teaching their children. Well, most parents don't know. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
Like if you
I no,
weren't taught, how are you going to teach somebody else?
I don't know how to advise my kids. I advise them now, go and invest. If you have some extra money, go and invest money somewhere. Well, how do we do that? I said, you go to an investment person, sit down with
Hmm.
them, and they'll tell you, you know, what's the best one. If you're, you want to make money quick, then they'll put it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you
But
want to be aggressive or if you want to be
yes.
conservative
So
and
I said, but do it now. Don't wait, because you know what? When you wait, you'll have nothing. And
yeah.
that's the thing. So I guess my point is that if people were never taught, how do you expect people to teach their children to do it too?
Yeah,
Right?
it's true.
So the people that are making money are the people that came from money, mostly. Right? So their parents have said, oh, you got to do this, or they've inherited it, or whatever, right? But at the same time, there's um, I think there's a real lack in educational system where we should be teaching our kids how to save money. I told Connor right off the get-go when he started his part-time job, Connor, you're young, you're going to want to spend money. I said, but I'm telling you as your nan, right away, take, you know, a certain percentage, if it's 10% or 5%, and just put it in a savings account. Just, and then that money you can spend. Because at that age, when you're 14, 15, 16, what do they care about saving? They don't give a flying. They're going to be around for a good portion of the time. They don't care to save. But I said, I'm telling you right now, one day you're going to want a car. Another day your car's going to break down and you're going to need a savings account to
Yep.
that. I said that this is where you need to listen and put. And I'm not, and he has done that. So, but nobody told me that. No,
No.
I never learned it in school. I just learned from hard knocks.
Yes,
Okay.
the hard way.
Right? Hard
Like, oh
knocks.
crap.
Okay.
We don't have
Crap.
food.
If I had just taken $100 a pay and stuck it away, we would have had money for that,
New
car
tires.
replacement or whatever.
Yes.
Right? So, anyway, I think that that's a real disservice we're doing to our kids. we should be teaching them how to um,
How to
invest their
save for
money,
their
how to save
future.
for their future, and all that kind of stuff. So, anywho, that's my spiel on that. But retirement wise, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a rough go.
I wonder, so if there's anybody listening that is retirement age or has already retired, because I look around at the people that I know, family, whatever, where they've retired. And from almost everything that I have seen and that I can recall, they still just lived their separate lives together.
Yeah,
But it's the same thing you do when you're working.
yeah,
You're living your separate lives together.
yeah.
And I don't understand why it can't stay that. Like, why all of a sudden does it have to be, okay, we are now attached at the hip and we're going and doing all these things
Yeah.
together? It has never been that way, ever.
No.
Even when we were first dating, we still had our jobs, we still
Yeah.
had our things that we
Yeah.
had
Like
to
you just went
do.
and did
And
your
then
thing
we
all
came
day.
to,
Yeah.
I'm not understanding why all of a sudden
Because
that
I
has
think
to change.
because I think the thought process is you've retired now. Now you can spend your glory days together. Well, I don't. Uh, I don't. I don't even know what to say on that. I, well, first off,
You're like,
there's there's uh, there's there's nothing going to be glorious about it. Okay, I'm going to be real. Unless that man gets himself a hobby and he's off, doing that hobby
at
all day
least
long.
at least part of the day, like something. I
I said to
just
him, look, I said, I even gave him an idea. I said, you know what? Here's an idea. Why don't you, because he loves woodworking, I said, why don't you make charcuterie boards? All different designs. Look all that
yeah,
up. Go get some ideas. I said, we can sign up for markets and I'll sell my books and you do your. I said,
look
there, we're
at you.
together, right? We're together and we're doing. He goes, I'm not doing that. Okay, well then I don't know what you're doing, but we go buy some handcuffs so I can cuff you that bad because you're not going to hound me
A
24/7.
muzzle. That's what I want. Because he's gonna be in that doorway. Hey babe, what are you
Babe,
doing?
what are you doing?
Seriously. You gonna be free anytime soon? Like can I borrow you just for a minute? Because he does it now when he works from home.
I
He does
know.
that kind of crap. No. Because here's the thing. I have always been this way. I need my space, my time, my thing.
Yeah,
And we talk about how, oh, they have worked so hard their whole lives and they provided and they did all of these things. They deserve to retire. And absolutely 100% agree with
I
you.
totally agree.
Okay. Flip side, okay, I also worked and raised kids and
Yeah,
made sure all this stuff. It's not like I was sitting here with my feet up the whole time, eating bonbons, throwing dinner parties,
yeah.
and not contributing to our life.
Life. Yeah,
Okay, so
100%.
yes, you deserve, and so do I. Okay, I know my value.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what it took to raise a Pascal of kids and do all the things and have a full-time job. Now,
yeah.
my husband was great with the kids, but let's not be fooled and think that he had all their. He could not have told you what size they wore, who their teachers were, what they
No.
needed, what they didn't need, who they were seeing, who they weren't seeing, who
And
the
most men
nothing.
couldn't.
No, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not holding it against you. But my point is I had a full-time job and then I had all the kids stuff, and that was another full-time job.
Yeah,
So let's not just think about how much I also need my downtime now. I deserve,
yeah.
not just you.
100%. I agree. I agree. I
So,
can't agree more. I just don't know the outcome. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know. Doesn't snow where I live. Just so you know, Lori, if you need.
Well, the little flakes of hell are just coming down like raging teenagers right now. It's driving me crazy. And my
I'm
cold
very sorry.
medicine's kicking in.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said to him, if we watch ourselves, we'll be comfortable. We'll be able to eat. We'll have a roof over our head. We'll, be able to do our 2 trips. And that's what we thought we were going to do anyway. So you just need to figure out you in between.
Yeah. And that's what Kitty's because he's like, oh, we can travel. I'm like, have you budget? Like, because he's just so used to being able to do whatever he
Yeah.
wants.
Well, they don't
And
realize that that's a chunk of change not going to be there anymore.
yes,
Right.
like
And
you,
that's,
like again, this is all we got. All we got was in this cup.
yeah.
So you gotta make it last. You know nothing
See,
nothing's
we're,
getting put into the cup.
we're so privileged because the job that he has, he makes really good money. So every week there's a really good paycheck coming in.
Yeah.
And
My
that
husband too.
terrifies me. So that him not working is going to affect me as well. Because
Yes.
there goes my hauls and my, oh, I like that box. I'm gonna get that. You know what I mean? Like I have to cut right back on. So I'm piling up on the shit right now. So
Except you can't get anything shipped to you.
I know.
You're like, look, you have to
Um,
postpone your retirement a little bit. I need to catch up
I
from the
need,
postal
yeah.
strike.
But the funny thing is Amazon stuff still comes.
Oh,
You
there you
order
go.
stuff from Amazon, you still get in your packages. But yeah, anyway, I know it's going to affect both of us, but I think he's going to feel it more than me because
But yeah,
he's not going
because
to realize that, we can't just go out and do what we want to do anymore. We have to think about it,
yeah, every
right?
little thing. Every
Because
little
again,
thing.
we're 64, 65 years old. Well, I'll be uh, no, actually, I'll be 64 in January. He'll be 65 in February. So I'm 63. But, for that, like I said to him, you know, we got to make sure 10 years of living or more is enough money there. And to do that, we have to watch what we're doing.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
And then the older you get, and medical stuff and whatever. I mean,
Hmm.
I do. I tend to think about all the what ifs, and I know that there's no way to know, and there's no way to control, and I get that,
No, but you have to
but
think
I
about
also
it.
have to think that okay, it is still very much a possibility.
Yeah,
And then what? Ugh. Anyway,
I know. I would
but
love to know what
even
everybody else is doing for retirement or
yeah,
what's your plan or what's your ideas. And if we have a financial person out there that's following us or listening to
reach out.
us, yeah, just tell us, you know what?
Just tell us it'll be
Get
okay.
get your basement ready, ladies, for your hubbies.
Oh
Put
my
put a
gosh.
lock on the door.
I just
That's,
I don't know. This is gonna be so hard.
it's very stressful right now.
And you know what's making it, and I can see it now because I will be available the last 2 weeks of December because it's Christmas and I always like take that time off and just do whatever. So I'm gonna be available and he is not gonna be able to switch gears in January when I'm like, okay, I'm back to my everyday
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, he's going to fall
Is
into
this
some
why
comfort level.
is this why people get divorced when they're in their 60s at retirement?
I don't know. I feel like it could be a statistic out there for sure, because in all honesty, it is very stressful and it's very concerning because I, and again, I have to keep saying this because I don't want people to think I hate my husband, but I just don't have little things in common with him anymore enough to spend 8 hours, 12
No.
hours of a day with him fully.
But I
it
never did.
no,
I never did.
no, but we had the kids. We had the kids in
And we
common. We
had
had the this and
jobs.
we had jobs. And
We
so there was
never
stuff like
ever
that.
had to be with
Exactly.
our the love of our life. We never had to be with them 24
And
365.
unless you're on vacation, but then it's a vacation. So who
And that's
cares?
it. Right. And then you
But
go back to regular life. But
exactly.
this is like a vacation for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life.
No.
I know. It's
With limited funds, like
right. And that's another
right.
thing. Like
So
those big weekly paychecks aren't rolling in anymore. So now what?
yeah, so now we are stuck with each other 24/7 and we can't go and blow like we used to because we have to save our money. And even if let's just say we did have things in common and can we afford to go do them?
Yeah.
Like can we just go willy-nilly and do whatever? No, we're gonna be stuck in the house staring at each other watching mindless TV. No. I have no.
No.
Like find a hobby, a cheap hobby.
A
Okay?
cheap one.
Be a vlogger, be a podcaster. I don't care. Go record your hikes. I swear to God, play with freaking toys. Have you seen the YouTube videos where people just unwrap new toys and play with them and then
Well,
they have
I said, why
gazillions
don't
and
you
trillions of views?
I said, here's an idea. I said, you have Larry, who's retired. I said, you guys go do stuff.
Yeah.
Go travel around and do stuff that you guys like that. Go for coffee in the morning. You know, do things manly. Just leave me out of it while
Right.
I go do my video. He goes, "Oh yeah, your video." I said, "Hey, that video YouTube channel is probably gonna let us eat. So if you build that outbuilding, right?" and,
Hey, that YouTube channel is going to keep me in stickers. Okay. You
and
just leave me alone.
I just about that, but still, it's a thing. Okay, you have to watch what you're doing. End of discussion.
Yeah, but
So
we brought up a very valid point. Nowhere in the history of my marriage have I been with my husband 24/7 for
no,
three for forever,
no,
for longer than a week of
no,
vacation.
and that's
And even
probably
then, we were doing stuff with the kids or with other
that's
people
right.
or whatever. I just don't know the last time I was with, well, yeah, when we've been on vacation, it was just him and
Yeah, you've
I.
gone on vacation with
But
each other. That's
he,
different, though.
okay, but he had his work laptop. I had my stuff. We were still doing our
Still
own
working.
thing while we were on vacation together. It was not ever, has it been, where we are literally just the two of us and nobody else is around, or we have nothing else that we have to do.
Right.
So why all of a sudden is retirement you're expected? That's expected. Like, why?
Yeah. I don't know, my friend. It's.
But that's a good argument. I'm going to use that next time he brings that crap up. It's like, well, we should be spending time together. Why? We never have. Why is this all of a sudden changing?
Mhm.
Tell me. Give me. I want to hear what he has to say. I think I'm going to start this argument tonight.
Oh, Lord.
You want me to put my phone recorder on so you can hear it?
Yes.
Be like, all right, I got a voice message, Lorie. Like, listen to this crap.
Listen to this. This is how it's going.
Gosh.
But,
Anyway,
well, that's that.
that's that. Bye.
Bye.